In this episode, I'm covering the KuCoin Trading bot and how you can use it to your advantage. Let's do it. Hi, my name is Nick. I'm a crypto CEO, and in today's episode, I'm going to go over the top 10 questions regarding KuCoin Trading bots. So without further ado, let's get into it. So the first question is, what is a trading bot on KuCoin? Well, a trading bot is simply a bot that does trades automatically for you. There are different types of bots, but at the end of the day, it's a mathematical equation that you set and it executes on the order book. The order book is the same as any other human trader on KuCoin. So it's the same ecosystem. Everybody's trading in the same way. So humans are trading, bots are trading. At the end of the day, they're all part of the KuCoin ecosystem and ecospace. So it's just automated. That's really what a bot is. Then the second question, of course, is like, why would you want to use one? Well, you want to use one for two reasons, I would say. First of all, it can save time because a bot can work for you 24/7, so also when you sleep, and it does that trading for you automatically based on the parameters that you set. So especially if you're, let's say, even a day trader, you're saving lots and lots and lots of time, and you're increasing the window of trading time because it also can work for you when you sleep. But even if you're a, let's say, swing trader that trades every week, as per example, then even then it saves a lot of time, and also it is always awake and always working for you, as opposed to any human. You go to bed at some point and then you can't pay attention to the chart. Yes, you can set alarms or let yourself be woken up by how the market reacts, but it's not really a comfortable way of operating. So it saves a lot of time. The second one is it takes the emotion out of things. Humans are notoriously bad at trading because they sell whenever it goes down because they're fearful, and they buy when it goes up because they get fear of missing out, FOMO. And that happens to a lot of people, even the best ones, because emotions are simply just part of human nature. Bots do not have any emotions. They simply execute on a strategy. So they take the emotion out of the game, and because of that are superior when it comes to making trading decisions. And especially when you look at things for the long haul, they just perform better. They have a better return on investment. So those are the two main reasons I would say why you would want to use one, if you want to make money with buying and selling. So that's a big if. But if you want to do that, then I think using a trading bot is very smart. So where can you find them? Well, you go to trade, you click on trading bot. It automatically goes to the pro version on KuCoin. The pro version, personally, I prefer the classic version more. But all the buttons, all the text are at the end of the day the same. All you have to do is here click on the classic version, and here this would open up. So for the purpose of this video, I'm going to cover the classic version, but I want to remind you again that all the text, all the buttons at the end of the day are the same. Okay. So question number 3, what is a spot grid trading bot? Well, a spot grid trading bot is a bot that does buying and selling on the spot order book, just like any other trader. So basically it just buys when it's low and it sells when it's high. There are here some examples that they have a couple different words that I'm going to show. So let's go over here, create the bot. You have auto and customize. Automatically is I have a lot less options, and customize, you can go and customize a few things to set certain parameters. So I'll cover both. Here you can select the different markets, and it shows also the current price, and you can open the chart if you want to. So in this case, it's Bitcoin. It shows the bottom price and the top price. The bottom price is whenever it would fall under this, it would stop buying, and whenever it goes over the top, it would stop selling. Then the number of placed orders is the amount of orders that are placed in between these two, and that's a mathematical equation. So in this case, 100 orders from 13K until 25K. So in this example here, this is a better example to better understand it easier. Let's say an example of that Bitcoin is minimum price of 8,000 and a maximum price of 12,000 with a number of order places 4. So then it's 12 minus 8 is divided by 4 is 1,000. So this is 4,000 divided by 4 is 1,000. And so there are 4 steps and actually it's 5 because you always have the top one, but there are like 4 steps, 1, 2, 3, 4 of buys and sells. So the more of number of orders placed, the more steps there are of whenever the bot is buying or selling, and it of course does this equally. So there's a certain math and certain the bot works on an automated basis to buy and to sell whenever it's low or whenever it's high, but it does take into account the number of orders placed of how many steps of intervals there can be. The less steps, the less trades, the more steps, the more trades. If you're doubting what you should do, I would argue go with the auto one, or go and look at some of the top people. How do you do that? Well, it's simply here. In this case, it's set on Bitcoin. So here's the number 1 guy. If you click on it, you can see they had 51, and these are the ranges that he has set. Then here another one. These are a lot less steps, as you can see, 25. But here, so you notice that it's somewhere between this one, and then the top one is 51. So that would be probably a good scenario for you to copy. Again, don't have to. You can also just follow the recommended auto steps, which is 100. Then there are profits, right? And the fees are deducted that are set. This is all standard. There's nothing also I customize what you can do to change that. So it's just simply you set your investment, in this case 100%, 50K, create, and that's it. Customize is where you can set yourself the low and the high, the amount of number of orders placed, and then again the same thing with setting up the investment. So that's really how that works. And as you can see, some of the profits that people make from doing this on Bitcoin in this case is quite nice. The more volatility that there is in the token, the more the spot grid bot will have room to play with and to do things in. So if a token goes up a lot or goes down a lot, then there's a lot more trading that's happening, and potentially more profit, especially when it ping pongs up and down. That's really good for a grid bot if the price keeps ping ponging between a certain range. And that's also, I think, really the way you should see the spot grid bot, is that you should take a certain time frame, set the min and the max that you're comfortable with, and then play with that for a certain amount of days. And as you can see, the top people, they typically adjust their bot once every couple days, and then set a new one to gain the maximum return. But you can imagine that if you're a day trader and you do this once every 2 days versus having to do all these trades manually, it is a massive time saver for if you want to do that. And it makes a good return because Bitcoin is not that volatile, and it makes this really nice return per year. Okay, so then question number 4, what is a future grid trading bot? So that's the second option here. Well, I'm not going to cover this. Reason is because a future grid works with margin trading, so shorting and longing. That's something that I'm fundamentally against. So I'm just not going to explain it because I can't recommend you doing this, do margin trading, because I have seen so many people that get wrecked, that get liquidated, and that lose whenever they leverage up. And it's just not a good thing to do. Sure, there are other people out there that don't have these same reservations as I do. So I would argue go check with them then out, and if you really want to do it, and go ahead. But there's a reason why margin trading is so profitable for exchanges, because people get wrecked all the time. And it's just it's just really risky, and it's just not something that I stand for. So I'm not going to go cover it. Would you then recommend, if you were to do margin trading with bots? If I were to do margin trading, which I don't, but if I would, then I would not use a bot, because it's so risky anyway that I would want to manually maybe do it once or twice, whatever. I wouldn't do it often. But if I were to do it, then I would do it manually. So question number 6, what is the smart rebalance bot on KuCoin? So that's this one. So I think I will go to here to understand the smart rebalance bot a little bit better. First of all, it's a portfolio bot. So here is an example. that you set 4 assets in this example: Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, and KCS. And in your portfolio, you set that you want everything to have 25% value equally. So if your portfolio is $1,000, then every coin, so these 4 would all be worth $250 worth of that coin. So obviously Bitcoin would be different than Ethereum. You would have a lower number, but at the end of the day, it's that number is worth $250 on the start. So that's the start that we will use per example. Then the interval is set to 12 hours. So every 12 hours, it rebalances the portfolio. So in this example, Bitcoin has gone up and Ethereum went down. So when this 12 hours arrives, then the rebalancing happens. So because Bitcoin has gone up, Bitcoin will be sold and Ethereum will be bought, so that the portfolio rebalances to a even ratio of 25% for these 4 coins. Why is that good? Well, that is good because every coin goes up and down, you know, in a certain time frame. And sometimes Bitcoin goes up, and sometimes Ethereum goes up, and it's all over the place. This takes advantage of that, right? So it uses the things that go up and it uses the things that go down to buy it at the right time to rebalance your portfolio. And over time, if you know, all the things go up, then your whole portfolio goes up, because it's a ratio of 25%. It's not set on necessarily $1,000. It's just a ratio. So it really keeps things in line with each other, uses the momentum of whenever something went up or something went down to your advantage, and then keeps the portfolio nice and balanced. So I would definitely argue that it's pretty interesting if you have the desire to diversify your assets and at the same time make a profit from buying and selling. And definitely if you have, let's say in this case, 4 tokens that you need to keep track of, well, that's a lot of work, and this will do it automatically for you. So yeah, that's pretty nice. That's really how it works. When you click on it, there are these examples of recommended, let's say, yeah, portfolios that they give it certain names. And if you can copy this if you want, you can also simply import your assets from your trading account. So then it just loads the tokens that you have inside your trading account at this point, or just customize. And then you can also buy these tokens, so you can set them up. You can just add them. All the tokens on KuCoin are available. So let's say you can go from a minimum of 2, a maximum of 12. So I'm just going to use 2 examples here, okay? And then it shows the percentages of the portfolio per default. You can also set it per market cap. It's up to you. You can also change this then to 50-50, whatever you want. Then you set your investment, in this case 100%, 50K you can create, and then it buys this according to the percentages that you've set. If you have the tokens, then obviously in the available balance this would be there. So it depends again if you need to still buy these tokens or you already have them. Okay, and then create, and then it starts. So that's how that works. Okay, question number 7. What is the DCA bot on KuCoin? So that's this one. DCA stands for dollar cost averaging. It's really a bot that is nice for when you want to buy into a certain token. So let's take Bitcoin, for example. If you always want to buy Bitcoin, regardless of no matter what, and you, let's say you have I don't know, a monthly income of $4,000, and you keep $1,000 as you know, as you save that up and you want to invest it in crypto, and you want to buy Bitcoin from it in this example, then it's really smart to do that on a dollar cost averaging basis. Not do it once every month, but just do it basically every day or every week, in smaller steps. That is a superior strategy versus trying to time the market. Nobody can time the market. And so a dollar cost average bot really takes that manual labor of buying on a certain interval away from you. So here you can set even per hour, right? You can set the amounts of times that the thing needs to buy. You can set how much they need to buy per time. And also you can set a maximum. So if you don't want to buy more than, if your end goal is $100,000 of Bitcoin, then yeah, you can set that as a maximum and it will not buy more. So again, it's a very well-known strategy, dollar cost averaging. It works really well if you have a monthly income that you just want to always buy certain assets from. And then, yeah, really, I would argue, try to do it on a interval that is pretty high. So let's say every day is pretty smart. I don't know if every hour is needed, but every day is pretty good. Okay, so that's how that works. Question number 8. What is the infinity grid bot on KuCoin? Okay, so an infinity grid bot it looks a little bit like the spot grid bot, so it is in that sense similar. It buys and it sells on the spot, but it works with percentages. So here is a picture of it that sort of illustrates it. Here you can see certain buy points, and then there's the certain sell points, and there's a percentage difference between the buy and the sell. This percentage of how much it needs to go higher or lower, or sorry, yeah, it always goes up, right? So it's always higher to make profit. That you can set. So again, different from the amount of orders placed with the spot grid, this really works with percentages. So it takes advantage of whenever things go up, and it always takes a certain percentage that you then set of when it should sell to make an additional profit. And because it works with percentages, it's also kind of in the name that can go on until infinity. So when you would set one up, yes, there is a minimum price, obviously, for Bitcoin, but there's not the maximum price because it works with percentages, like I said. So yeah, you can let that go on as long as you want. You can customize it, and then you can change the percentage point that you want. I think 1% is pretty okay, but again, you can set it higher if you want to. And you set here the minimum and the total investment. So that's really how it works. So I would argue the infinity grid bot is yeah, it's nice, especially if you don't want to do too many times to make the spot grid bot, if you just want to be in it for the long haul and not do too much work. So yeah, that can be nice for that reason. If you don't want to do every day or every 2 days, want to set things up again. Question number 9, how does the leaderboard spot grid work? Well, I already kind of showed it, but here you have the options to go over all the different markets. As you can see here, this volatility thing, that's really important. The more volatility, the more money that's being made with these bots, because again, they thrive off whenever things go up and down a lot. And so, yeah, you can simply search here and find the one that you want. And then here is as I shown before, the rankings, and you can set it to 7 days and see who was the one that did the best, and what kind of settings someone has done. In this case, this is number 1, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is number 1, and this actually worked with the automated one, right? So 100. So it just goes to show that the auto settings are pretty good actually, and people make a lot of return. So that, you know, it is pretty nice to see that yeah, people are making good money and good returns with doing these trades. That doesn't mean it's risk-free, right? There's still always risk. So you do see that people adjust this stuff every 2 days, and there's a good reason for that, because you know, if there's huge volatility downwards and it doesn't go up anymore, then the bot cannot really help you either, right? So you do have to adjust things and be smart about it. Then the last question, how can I learn more about KuCoin trading bots? Well, there are these tutorials. When you click on it, here, then you go to this page, and here you have all these different options and things to read, advanced training, FAQs, etc. So that's really where I would learn more about how it works, further in depth. So yeah, if you wanna do that, then check out the tutorials. They're quite helpful. Okay, so thanks so much for watching. Please consider subscribing if you enjoyed the content. I'm definitely gonna make more videos and keep you guys informed. But let me know in the comments which topic you would like next. And thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.